Well, good morning at 8:09. I'm Mike Johnson with your guest of the day segment. Today we are visiting with EDCO Superintendent Rob Busch, recap of last night's EDCO school board meeting. And good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So, let's talk a little bit about your meeting last night. You heard a little bit about some student achievement going on. So let's talk about that.
Well, Mrs. Voss, our secondary principal, shared some information about I can't get out of the mode. It's ISAP now, but it's used to be Iowa testing, Iowa basic skills, and those types of things. So we have to go back. They changed the testing model a couple of years ago, and then we had COVID, so we didn't test 2 years ago. And then last year we did the test again, and what we're finding out is some grades did improve and some grades didn't improve, and that's very common across the whole state. So it's kind of one of those deals. It's kind of, I guess you would say this past year was a baseline again, and now we're just going to work for improvement from that. So she shared a lot of information with that. Also, some of that was part of that is the conditions of learning report. And that is based on some surveys of students, staff, and community or family members or family of students. We didn't get a whole lot of family responses, so it's kind of hard to know exactly what the true picture of the district is from a parent or family response issue. So when those roll around next year in the spring, I would encourage more families to fill out those surveys and help us. And that data and information guides us in making some of our decisions. Again, September used to be kind of the end of the year, the switch around of board officers and that kind of stuff. But now with the new elections, that kind of this type of meeting, the annual meeting is pushed into November. So the calendar or the action items for September were a little bit lower than usual, I guess, the action item. But we did approve our SIAC, our School Improvement Committee members, and we kind of started going or talking about the new evaluation process for administrators. So those were probably two of the top items in last night's board meeting.
But you also have, something else going on at EDCO we definitely want to highlight, and that's your bond issue coming up in November. You're going to have some meetings to inform the public of what's going on with that. That first one tonight.
Yes, we start off tonight with we start with the committee, kind of introduces how we got to the process or this point. We did have enough petitions or signed petitions turned in last week to call for the bond election in November. So we're excited, looking forward to that. Really, the bond referendum kind of covers some really important items. The scary part is somebody asked me, what do we do if it doesn't pass? And that's the HVAC at the elementary, depending on who you talk to, has anywhere from 3 years to 10 years left on it. Tom Forkenbrock, the car dealer in our town, really says sometimes instead of just balancing the bald tires, you need to replace them. And that's the way we look at the HVAC at the elementary right now. The old boiler system is, we've done some repairs to kind of keep it plugging along, but we are getting concerned that we'll get to that time and point where the repairs just won't be enough. So what was scary is that we originally estimated that to be a $1.5 million to $2 million improvement. And then all of a sudden this summer, when we worked with the architects and engineers, it came in at a $3 million estimate. So that's kind of started our kind of conversations a little bit more of what we wanted to improve on around here. We're looking at our CTE programs, which includes our family and consumer science, our art, our business, and our VOAG, looking at new facilities for them. Really change our drop off and pickup point for buses and students unloading, get it off of Highway 3, which we feel would be really a safety improvement for the district. And then also looking at a new competition gym, which we've got 2 gyms, but they're 1950 models and they're not as large as some of the requirements for basketball and volleyball for offering 2 or 3 courts going on at the same time. So looking forward to sharing the information with the public and getting some of the questions answered.
And that first meeting is tonight. Tell us where and when.
We're meeting at 6 o'clock in the music room here at the high school junior high.
And then you have a couple of more meetings yet before the vote comes up in November.
Yes, another one. I think it's Tuesday, October 12th, and that will be over in Colesburg, and then the 28th on a Thursday back here in the music room in Edgewood. All of them starting at 6 p.m.
All right. Anything you want to add, Rob?
Again, I just appreciate all the community sports, your guys' support for getting the word out. And again, I encourage people to ask questions and attend the meetings or call me, just stop by, whatever. But we want to make sure the facts are out there about the bond issue.
All right. We'll be looking forward to checking in with you after your next meeting.
Thanks a lot.
Rob Busch, Shedco Superintendent, with our guest of the day segment here on Mix 94.7 KMCH, brought to you by Bill Thomas, Farm Bureau Financial Services. Stick around. We've got more coming up on Mix 94.